Hey, what's up you guys? So I wanted to make this quick video on the 3 different options of how to buy a property when you're first starting out. If you're renting something and you're thinking about buying, what to look for, what the options are, what renting entails, and what the values and the figures are from a very simplified standpoint, but it's very true. So let's get right into it. Guys, if you don't know who I am, my name's Kyle Claus. I'm an actor, entrepreneur, real estate broker. I own businesses. I have a multi-million-dollar real estate company. I'm an investor myself in real estate, in stocks, in crypto, and everything. So I have a particular knowledge of experience and lived what I'm preaching and what I'm teaching. So this is coming from somebody who's actually done it. I'm simplifying it down for you guys. So let's get right into it. Now we're going to talk about the 3 different options, and I deal with this every day amongst people coming into the marketplace in the job market, renting their first property, then making that property go into their first purchase, and then expanding and maybe moving into with a family and keeping it rolling, building wealth along the way, and what their best options are. So here's my boiled down, watered down version of basically what you're looking at and your options are. So I made this diagram. So the first thing is renting. So rent has been going up like crazy. If you're in or near a major market, you're pretty much going to be paying around $4,000, even for kind of a 1-bedroom nowadays. I know in the New York City market and the surrounding areas, you're paying about $4,000, definitely for a 2-bedroom, but say, let's just use roughly $4,000. So at the end of year 1 in rent, there's no way around this. You're going to pay $4,000. That's $48,000 at the end of year 1. And that basically just can go down the trash, and you can light that on fire if you want, because that's pretty much what you get from renting. Now, if you are working out of your apartment, maybe you can write off a portion of that in your taxes. And, you know, there is like little bit of perks because, you know, if like certain things break down, you aren't responsible for them. You know, the owner has to pay for them or the management company has to fix them. So there are little fixes down the line, but ultimately you're losing out on that money. Now there's different opportunities. I get it for each people. If you move to a new area and you don't know anything about it and you want to try out renting, great. Or if it's a new job and you're not thinking you're going to live there for a long or be there for a while, or you're not sure of job security, sure, there's reasons to rent. Not saying that, but that's pretty much what you're getting with rentals. It's going down the drain. The next option is single family or condo. So in that scenario, say we are looking at another $500,000, which is an average price, I'd say, of a home, single family in America. Now, I know there's different areas, middle America and everything, that you can buy something less, but you know, definitely around New York, you definitely can't get a house for $500,000 unless you're more in the burbs. But condos, $500,000, let's just say $500,000. We're using figures, and you're paying $4,000 in the mortgage. Now, at the end of year 1, you know, 2008, there was a market crash. 2013 and 14, properties went up 16% in some areas. 2020 and 21, after the pandemic, sure, they did too. So let's just say 10% to make things easy. So now you buy a $500,000 place, and in equity, that property raises 10%. So that's $50K up at the end of the year. You buy something for $500. Next year, you in an up market, it's worth $550. Now you are $50K up in that scenario. Now you still pay the $4,000 a month, and that is $48,000 down. So you are basically at the end of year 1, just with the law of averages, you are about basically even. Now you do have to have upkeep on your properties and little stuff like that, but for all purposes, you're basically breaking even in that scenario. That's still better than the rental scenario long term, right? The third option, if you are starting out and you want to buy a place. Now this is something I did, this is something my brother did, this is something that I know people have done, and it's really helped them out in the future and saved them. So this is called the multifamily, or, you know, basically house hacking scenario right here. So say we're looking at a multifamily, 500,000, 2-family or a 3-family, right? And you buy that and your mortgage payment's still going to stay the same. It's going to be about let's say it's about $4,000, give or take. Now, let's say you get a 3-family, and in apartment 1, you can rent that for $2,000. In apartment 2, you can rent that for $2,000. And then in apartment 3, maybe it's a smaller efficiency, but you're living there, and basically the rents from apartment 1 and 2 are paying for the mortgage. Now, in that scenario, you're living there basically free. And if that goes up 10% in a year, and you paid zero money, now it's 10% a year, you made 50K and you paid zero, so now you're up 50K. I said 50%, but 50K. So you made 50K that year living there. Now you were a landlord, you did have to fix things when they came up, but you are building wealth that way. The same scenario goes for if it's a two family. So like say it's a 2-family. It's all about what you're looking at, what the rents are. So say you're living in a 2-family, there's one apartment that you can rent out for $3,000 and you live in the apartment that's smaller or whatever. And now it's you rent it out for $3,000, but you're only paying $1,000 in towards that $4,000 of the mortgage. Well, now at the end of year 1, you're up 50K in appreciation, remember, and you only paid 12K in the mortgage payment on your side. Now you are 38K up. So in that scenario, you're still really doing great. This is the third way, is house hacking. Those are your 3 scenarios for if you're starting out and you're thinking about renting, you're thinking about buying. Do you want a single family condo? You might not want to be a landlord. There's another option too of hiring a property manager, house hacking, but hiring a professional property management. That's what we do also. That usually takes 6 to 8% of the rental values. But I mean, if it's hands off for you and you don't even have to deal with anything, that may be worth it. Don't be one of those people that's like, whoa, that's 6-8%, I could handle it myself. Great, if you want to handle it yourself, great, but don't let it get you stressed out, because your time is spent elsewhere, enjoying life, making money, and letting property management deal with it. So that's an option too. If you do need property management services, we have a property management division that we opened up last year, and we grew from 0 to 150 doors in 1 year. It's definitely a good value add for landlords. So guys, those are my 3 scenarios. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out, check those out, leave a comment below. I love to go over stuff like this. I love to help out people in building wealth and house hacking and all that. So thank you so much for tuning in. If you got any value out of this video, please do not forget to pump that like button one time. Just click it right now. Helps with the YouTube algorithm, and I appreciate it greatly. And feel free to let me know what you want to see a video on, and I'd be glad to do it. Take care. Till next time. Peace.